like to call to order the Lebanon Board of Education monthly meeting for March 21st, 7 o'clock. Please stand and join us for the pledge. Hearing from the public, with so many here tonight that might be attending for the first time, I'd like to go over the board policy. Board of Education does recognize the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express themselves on school matters of community interest. So in order to have sufficient time to complete our monthly meeting, 30 minutes, a maximum of 30 minutes is allowed for public comment. And if there are several speakers, then the time is divided by the number of speakers, and each speaker has a maximum of 5 minutes if there are less than
6.
6? 5 minutes each. Yeah. Okay. And Eric, if you would take care of the time on that, please. The speaker must be a resident of the Lebanese City School District, and speakers must have registered. At the designated time, please come up to the podium, state your name and your address. No speaker may speak more than once on the same topic unless all others who wish to speak on that topic have been heard. All statements shall be addressed to the presiding officer. No person may address or question the board members individually. In other words, this is just an opportunity to speak openly and regarding to an item that you wish to address. It is not a time of debate. You're not to address anyone by name. You can talk about their positions, such as the board president, superintendent, treasurer. You just may not use their proper names. Okay? Now, this period, as I said, it is to listen to your concerns. This is not time for debate or argument, and I ask everyone, please be respectful and courteous.
Hi, I'm Rick McPherson. I reside at 1041 Country Creek, Lebanon, Ohio. One of the items tonight on this agenda that is, in my opinion, greatly disturbing is it appears as though that we are going to try to shove through the Lebanon Educational Association contract. I see absolutely no reason this should be voted on tonight. In fact, I ask each one of you to decline to vote on it, table this. We have a important bill before the state, which is Senate Bill 5. This would be an excellent tool in order for us to possibly do less money on a levy. But it seems as though this board is more interested in the best interest of the teachers union, and they're actually put into place. They're taxpayers. We are the taxpayers. You work for us. You don't work for the teachers union. The superintendent, he should also be working for the taxpayers and not for the teachers union. They have their own negotiators, and I feel we've done a poor job. Each one of you is looking at me on this board. You've done a poor job in representing the taxpayers. That's all I really have to say.
Thank you. Sid Zimmerman. No. Okay. No tax Jack.
I don't have anything to say. I signed the wrong person on the paper.
Okay. Robert Waters.
Madam President, ladies and gentlemen of the board, it has been brought to my attention.
You need to state your address, please.
I'm sorry.
Your name and address.
My name is Robert Waters. I live at 1111 Deerfield Road in Lebanon. It has been brought to my attention and the attention of others that this evening this board intends to not only consider but approve the contracts with the various unions which represent these employees of the district. I myself, as a former school bus driver, my last day was Friday. I'm at a bit of a disadvantage because I'm trying to see into the future because we are required to speak before you act. And let me say that if this is the case, and if it is not, someone please stop me and save us all about 4.5 minutes. Voting on union contracts without prior notice to the public is not in the interest of transparent government. Please, 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 thank you, but please. Many of you, most of you, perhaps all of you, campaigned as fiscal conservatives, transparency in government. And if you vote on this contract, having not advertised it in this, the agenda that was distributed to the public, that was posted online, but this way, where you sneak it in at the very last minute, that is a backdoor maneuver that will not be tolerated by this conservative community. As a former school bus driver, I have every sympathy, particularly with the hourly employees and the strains that come with that job, just working it. But when you became school board members, whether you have teachers in your family or a former teacher, you agreed to advocate the cause of your constituents. It appears that the union has advocated the cause of their constituents. The union leaders have done their due diligence. The union leaders have done their job, and no matter how sympathetic you are to the other side, it is your fiduciary duty to advocate for your constituents, not for the union. To continue this contract is bad fiscal management, because we know, and I have heard it said, that we are within 2 years of a state takeover of our schools. So we know if we do not do something different, we're going to end up like Little Miami, God bless it. We must do something different. To continue these contracts is doing the same. If doing the same thing is going to have us in fiscal insolvency inside of 2 years, what reasonable person would decide that it is a good idea to continue to do the same thing for another entire year? Also, with regard to the levy, I believe, and I begged and pleaded with my friends in the unions to hear me when I say that in this hard financial time, when people have lost jobs, people are losing their homes. How much time? Thank you. When people have lost their homes, have lost their jobs, have taken pay cuts to approve a contract that maintains the step increases, no matter how small they may be, sends a very bad message. Imagine you're talking to a friend of yours and you say, it's only a 3% increase. I'm not sure the percentage, however small the step increase may be. It's a 1%. It's just a 1% increase. And the person who lost their home, who's lost their job, who now is working for $8 an hour because their good job went away, what will you say to them? That's a slap in the face. It's only a 3% increase. I've had a 60% pay cut. Not me personally, I'm speaking generally. Voting to continue the contract with step raises dooms the levy. It will infuriate people. And it also constitutes bad fiscal management. I'm sorry to have to stand here tonight and say these things, and I wish it were different. The thing that bothers me the most, if you want to make a managerial error and have the levy after you agree to step increases, that's just bad management. But not given prior public notice, and I asked you to stop me and no one did, so I'm continuing. Not given prior public notice that this was going to take place is a bad behavior for elected officials. Particularly since some of you have interest in those contracts being negotiated, with all due respect. It looks bad. You should avoid even the appearance of impropriety. Thank you, Madam President.